So have you ever thought about maybe like what you do if you was the president of the United States, or any sort of thing where you might run for office, some sort of higher level government position where you could maybe actually change things. Um, not that I believe it's really possible for a good man to get in government and do much to change things for positive, but in the dream world, let's consider what would you want to do? Well, if I was to run for an office, maybe like a state representative, even, or even go to federal government, represent my state, just start at state level, maybe perhaps. But the number one issue that I would run on, I'd have a three point plank or whatever you want to call it. Plank number one would be a return to handwritten, hand counted ballots. Get a group of volunteers together, they verify the counts. It goes to a different group, they verify the count. So it's verified maybe 3 times or whatever. You get away from these electronic voting devices. A lot of people think it's rigged. A lot of people don't vote because of the system. They think it's rigged. And whether it's rigged or not, the possibility exists that it could be. And that plays in people's minds. And I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of people don't vote. So that would be my number one, would be a hand counted, handwritten ballot. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And we'll be so caught up on instant returns on voting days. You know, make it a law. You got to wait 24 hours before the release of the results. And keep everybody honest. And I think we get a lot more people involved in the political system of voting. As long as you get those people to be educated, is another thing. But I think my second big point as a political candidate would be the abolition of property taxes. Seriously, property taxes. How did that ever become acceptable where the government send out the sheriff to take away your property over a few $100s, and you got to do it every year? You can never really say you own something. The government owns your property unless you pay that monthly, yearly property tax, rent. You don't own that property. So if I was ever in a position where I can actually make a change, if you do it through a sales tax or fuel tax, any sort of tax, if you really have to make up for it, I honestly think it could probably be eliminated altogether and through spending cuts, and everybody would own their property from here on out. No liens from the government stealing your property over a few $100s that they say you owe. I just don't understand how they can property tax and tax something every year after year after year. And once you've paid for that property, it's yours. There's no respect of individual sovereignty anymore. You can't be a sovereign if you can't own your own property and say it's yours. So anyway, that's the second thing I would do, is eliminate property taxes. I just think they're morally wrong. And the third thing, not to get too environmentalist on you, but there are certain green aspects that could be exploited more in this world, and hemp is the number one. And at the top of my list on that, hemp would bring back some of these farmers' work, create a new need for different specialized equipment for the farms. Um, Good American jobs could be created from the use of hemp. Not to mention it could prevent the cutting down of many trees for paper. They give you a much more durable source of clothing and materials for other fabric materials. It's the perfect plant medicinally, and it just needs to be made legal. I think cannabis and hemp and all its forms need to be allowed. No law against it, no law for it. It's just there. No regulation, no taxation of it. Just get it out there, get it going. Tax the end product, I guess, if they had to. But the production of hemp, usage of hemp would be the main thing we could do. It would be good for the environment. It would be good for the capitalist. It would be good for the consumer. It would be good for everybody all the way around. So that's the three things I would do. If I was to run for office, and to ask you for your vote, I would ask you for those three things to allow me to go to government and do that. Handwritten ballots, hand-counted ballots, elimination of property taxes, and full exploitation of hemp.